Hello everyone, and today I'm going to show you how to do 2D motion tracking within After Effects, or if you don't have After Effects, I'll even show you a way how to do it without After Effects. This is actually very easy, and it's a bit more simple than 3D motion tracking. All you need is to click one bit and you're basically done with this. So what you want to do first, you want to create a new null object, and that null object it will be where your information will be stored onto. It's something that goes on top that cannot be seen, and you'll be adding your text to that. It's basically like a template that you put on, and everything all your information will be there instead of on your footage. So within After Effects, you'll go into Window and then down to Motion Tracking, and then from there you'll see a little window that appears up, and then you'll want to click Motion Tracking, and when you click that you'll see two boxes that appear, one smaller one in the centre and one big one. That small box in the centre you'll want to put over the high contrast point, about the same size as that high contrast point, and then that big box you'll make it just a little bit bigger because that will be the area where that small box will basically search. That's simple terms of what that basically does. You don't really need to know what that function is in detail, you just need to basically find a high contrast point, put that centre bit in. And when you're looking around, when you click on it, you'll notice it really zoom in. And that high contrast point wants to be quite small. The smaller it is, usually the better it will track. And the more high contrast it is, the better. So if you have something green on a white background, then that will track really well. But if you have something white on in a greyish background, it may not track because it may lose where it is, and then your text may not stick to the screen to how you want it. So once you find that high contrast point, make sure that's on the very first frame you want it to start tracking on, and then you'll click track forward, and it'll start to go forward and start adding loads of points to your footage. Once After Effects is finished, you'll now click edit target, and you'll edit that target to your null object, and then you'll click apply, and it'll apply all that information to your null object. And once you've done that, you'll scroll through and you'll see that your null object is sticking to that point. And then you can add some text in, and then you can move your text around, and you'll notice it's not actually moving with it. So what you'll have to do, you'll have a little target and you'll drag it up to your null object, and as soon as you do that, your text will stick to that null object, and that's it, you've done. And you'll now stick to your object. And if you don't have After Effects, I'll show you a way to how to do this, because it's very simple. But you'll have to think about your footage before you shoot it. And this works well with a sliding shot bit like I've got, because it's a constant movement. If it's like changing movements, this will be a lot more difficult to do. You'll create a keyframe at the very beginning of that frame where you start to move, and then the keyframe at the very end where you stop moving. And then that last very keyframe you added, you'll put your text to where you want it to finish off. And then when you scroll through, you'll notice your text kind of sticks to it. But if you've got variation of speed, this won't work. But you can add other keyframes and change it around. I mean, it works, but it doesn't look as smooth as After Effects. And it's a very simple way. We don't have a very powerful editing software, but you've got use of keyframes. So this effect won't work if your camera movement is not consistent. If your camera movement is not consistent, your text starts to go faster or slower. So you need to have a consistent movement with this technique. But with After Effects, it doesn't matter. You can have loads of different variations in your speed, because After Effects will do that for you and start to slow down the text, creating all those keyframes. But with this technique, you're only creating 2, 3 or 4 keyframes just to kind of keep it up with that footage. So it kind of has that effect, but not as smooth. Thank you for watching, everyone. If you liked the video, click the like button. If you disliked it, click the dislike button. If you want to see more, subscribe up there or down there. And I'll see you next time for more awesome editing, photography or filming techniques. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.